Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today we have live from the Netherlands, Wendy der Grinten. Is that how you pronounce your name, Wendy? Or could you say
In
it?
English, it would be Grinten.
Van der Grinten.
Yeah, like Vanderbilt, but then Grinten or Van der Waal. They also have the girl that won the show.
Well, it's wonderful that you're here. That's what's important. And I'm going to ask you to just please tell the audience or give the audience a background on why it is that you've chosen this lifestyle. What exactly is this lifestyle? And you're a mother with a baby. And how do you actually connect your lifestyle to being a mother and also to bringing forth a healthy child into the world?
Wow. So, okay. This lifestyle actually came when I was really like ill with the birth of my oldest child. And I was slowly attracted to more raw food. I was just like, I don't want to cook anymore. And I just wanted to think, okay, the highest vibrational food, the highest nutrients would be then the less messed with. So I was like, I wanted to do that. And I was like, okay. And slowly, I already made everything myself. So I started with making dinners always myself. Then I removed like refined sugars and all of that stuff. And then I started making bread myself. And I didn't want the wheat anymore, so I took spelt. And then I tried to make oat bread. And so I just tried to go like find like original grains from like 10,000 years old and stuff like that. So that's how it came, because I thought, if I need more energy in my life, if I need more nutrition, because I'm not absorbing what I need apparently, um, yeah, I need to change my food. So, and that was a process. Like I started to want to eat like the basic diet in 2006, and I never heard like raw food or anything. I didn't heard about that. So then when I had my child, I read the book on baby nutrition, and it says the first bite should be a whole food, one food per meal, so they can develop their palate. The cells in the mouth will start to recognize different taste, and you don't want to give them mashed up stuff, because then they will never learn the taste of a one food, and that creates children that don't eat vegetables, right? So yeah, and then the baby diet was going great until I kept my baby on fruit and vegetables. And then they say, he needs to eat grain and bread and soup sticks we have here. It's like a white wheat stick for everybody gives it to babies. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not eating white stuff. Like I don't like grains are not really the nutritious stuff in the world, so I don't really want to do it. So what do I do now? And so I for 2 years I kept him like on the first menu to say, and I was like, no, he's great, like no, he doesn't need rice waffles with chicken fillet on it. He doesn't need like chocolate paste from the supermarket with oils and stuff. So once I noticed that his digestion was horrible, he was in belly pain every time my mom or other grandparents gave him not the soup stick, but crackers, which is basically the same thing. It's like wheat, water, salt, and yeast. And he got this eczema on his arm, and I was like, this is not good. And looked it up, why is eczema on the outside? And this is a specific rash that has to do with wheat allergy. And his father has so much allergies of food that I investigate all of this. Like I graduated on this topic. So I investigate all of that. And I was like, okay, we need to do this. Primal food, just fruits and vegetables, and then we see from there. Yeah, I'm talking.
Do you need to pick her up? Do you need to pick up your baby?
No, not yet. she'll be screaming more. She just started to stand alone and walk like 2 hours ago. That's why I was so busy.
Wow, that's a huge breakthrough. That's major.
Yeah, she's
Oh my
standing
God.
behind me, going up and down, doing the squats because she's like super happy that she can do this. Like,
She's already squatting.
yes, yes. Oh, you have no idea how strong these babies are. Like super strong. So anyway, when the oldest one was having these digestive problems, and I was having like absorption problems, like pelvic disability, like so many problems. I thought, okay, I have to do this too. Like, I'm just going to go on this baby diet. So I slowly, Elena, so I slowly like changed to what I thought, if it's good for babies, why is it not good for adults? So I kind of went with what it says in the baby book. And yeah, that was amazing. Um, was my life got better. And yeah, that is now almost 10 years ago. So I'm at now 9 years in this lifestyle. And yeah, I just like he ate some stuff. He ate a lot of rice waffles and other things, but mostly 99%, yeah,
And
living
you were
fruit.
you were living in Spain for a while. Did you eat more fruits there? Because the
Mm,
fruit in Spain are quite amazing.
yes, but not only because the food was really better there, like the fruit is like like I could eat Palmer mangoes, like months, like at months. And I just, any supermarket, I would just go there and they would be like super cheap. So I was like, hey, no way I'm eating banana if there's mango around. Uh, but that was not the case. The case was that I was eating a little bit more fruit because the vegetables there are just horrible. There was this one organic local farm, when we have to really drive through the sand roads, dirt roads to get there. So we had to go to this one farm, but they didn't have a lot of variety. And a lot of it was meant to cook. So they grow all this stuff that you have to cook to eat. Like otherwise you couldn't eat it, even not blended or anything. So yeah, I ate a whole lot of lettuce because lettuce from the regular supermarket was the only thing I could get. And yeah, I'm going to go try to make her stop talking.
Okay, while you do that, I will tell people, while you do that, if you wish, I will tell people about the reason why I really want people to know about you today is because of this course and this
Mhm.
book that you wrote.
Hi.
Oh, here she is. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my gosh, she's
Yes,
waving. Oh my
Starbucks.
gosh. Oh, that is wonderful. Okay, so we are actually today looking at the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. And this is available only until Sunday. Unfortunately, all of these different chefs and content creators around the world were invited to put together this incredible array of treasures, recipes, courses, ebooks. We even have yoga. You can see the yoga on either end of this banner here. We've got food galore. We've got most incredibly innovative recipes. And I see you are back with her. So why don't we just introduce her to the audience? Just
How about this? Is now better with the noise?
that's fine. That's fine. She's quiet right now too. So I just want to show people what it is that we are going to be actually looking at today, and your own contribution to this bundle is what we're focusing on today. And here you can see we have in a bundle where there's no cooking, the recipes, look what's in the middle. It's Chinese takeout. It is plant-based, but look what's on the other side of that. It's sushi. So this is something that is so different, so unique, and will never be repeated, has never been released before. None of this is you can find anywhere else. And your contribution actually is one that I really interests me because it is called Feminine Harmony. I love those photographs. Oh my gosh, your images are just so, for me, enticing and just pulls me in.
Well, the image of the book, the covers.
Can you tell us something about the book and what it is what drove that really convinced you to write this and to
Oh,
bring it
wow.
to?
Yes, of course. I told you the story a little bit earlier about my eldest, and he was like, I started writing just like some pages on, yeah, actually, what's in the book? I just started writing the book actually, but I didn't know I was writing a book. I was making a summary for me and my clients. And so I started on healthy pregnancy, how, like, what herbs for what vitamins and minerals, what different, um, yeah, what different needs you have as a pregnant woman as for not, and what you should like pay attention to beforehand before getting pregnant if you can plan it out, right? And so after, like, also in my pregnancy, I was like so like convinced that I'm not going to go to the medical society. I'm not going to go to have my baby in the hospital. I'm more than happy to speak with any obstetrician, or if I need a gynecologist or anything like that. But I am having my baby safely at home, and like it's supposed to be in the Netherlands. So that information that I gathered for myself, like, okay, if my baby is upside down, if I'm nauseous, if I get a headache, if I wake up at night, if I got cramps, all of this, and also other less common symptoms that happen and seem to be normal for people as in a pregnancy, I looked up, okay, what kind of nutrients are related to that? What kind of foods can I get it from? Um, what herbs can I use as a supplement in a powder, in a tincture, in a powder or a tincture? Or maybe I need, yeah, maybe tincture is the strongest. And also homeopathy. So sometimes something is emotional, and that emotion is blocking us. So that emotion will then create a symptom that we cannot solve by adding foods, but we need to, yeah, we need to deal with this emotion or this feeling that we have. And so I investigate all of that for myself, and I wrote it all down. And so I was like, hey, when I wrote the book, I wanted to write a book for women that changed during pregnancy and birth and still have symptoms, because I have a lot of clients as well. And I was having my second baby. So I was like, what do those hormones do during this phase of a woman's life, and how do they change? And then I learned that also going through puberty and also going through menopause or premenopause, that you have these changes, and that they are so much related in what you can do about them. So a headache going, or an acne in puberty or pregnancy or perimenopause actually has the same information. So it actually has the same, how you say that? It's the same signals, the same hormones are involved, the same nerve connections are involved, the same kind of emotional, like I said, blockages are involved, maybe some trauma at some point. So I was like, okay, these are all related. So that means that when I look up a herb that is good for you, I don't know, just after birth, that the same herb can be applied for somebody with similar symptoms as an adolescent or going through menopause or after even. And so that from there, I learned, hey, but if you're not going through these three phases, these symptoms also also not create, but point towards a hormonal disbalance in somebody that is in another phase of life. And I was like, okay, I have to change the title of this book. Now it's just feminine harmony and how to balance your hormones and your nervous system, with a special note, special arrow pointing towards that. Yeah, want to be pregnant, birth, and postpartum period. So yeah, I have clients with kids that are 8, 9, 10, 12, and these things that are in the book are helping them overcome their symptoms, even though they started in their first pregnancy almost 10 years ago. And so that's what it's about.
You've made an amazing, amazing breakthrough, I think. I want to put the book up in a moment again. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you as well is, if somebody has pregnant now and is and the medical professional they go to says, oh, you cannot eat this way, you cannot be raw vegan, you cannot eat living foods, what would you say to that person?
Well, actually, at first I would ask them a couple of questions of what they would be eating now and what's going on. Second, I would ask them if they got tested, like blood tests, what they got, and if the doctor referred to the test. Like if they are just talking, if a doctor just talks out the top of their head and somebody goes there and you just have a little talk and the doctor says, well, you can't eat that. It's a totally different case than looking at the whole blood work, maybe some energetic testing, what I do, uh, investigating options for this person. It's totally different. So what to say to this person, I would say to this person, would also be completely different. So it would be hard for me right now, and I don't want to generalize. And that is what I focus on in my book too. Like, I don't want to generalize all pregnant women. But let's say they were like me, 100% raw, and the doctor says you can't. Well, there are enough people who can, but also you don't have to. Um, yeah, it's not a religion. It saved my life. It helped me. It helps a whole lot of other people. Um, but I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not saying that. But most likely, doctors, they don't study nutrition. Um, they study medications, and I studied some pharmacology. I mean, I had to. I got my diploma right over here. Like, I had to study that. And they look at those chemical imbalances and they focus on this one chemical imbalance that they found in your brain, for example, and give you one other chemical to alter that thing in your brain. While we are a whole system, we are not this one thing in our brain at this specific location that is doing something wrong. All the hormones, the hormonal system, all the nerves, the nerve system, they are intertwined. They talk to each other. They exchange. All the cells exchange. There is a constant information going through your bloodstream and through your nerves the whole time. And all endocrine glands, that's the one that make the hormones, are involved in this. So you can't say, oh, you are postpartum depression, here you have antidepressant. Yeah, it's kind of okay for breastfeeding, but no, maybe you might stop lactating. I'm like, no way. If it would be in that case, I would say I would quit this doctor and look somebody else.
So I want to stop you for a moment. Johnny said, regarding my question to you, he said, Johnny Martinez said, I don't think it matters. Just eat raw vegan, mostly raw, plant-based, and fasting. But you wouldn't fast now, would you? When
No, that would be
pregnant?
the last advice. You're
Yes.
pregnant. Even if you have experienced with, if you have experience with somebody who's like 40 years breatharian who sat on some mountain in India, I don't know. I'm just imagining something. Be smart. Don't make it too complicated. This one person did it, but it doesn't mean that it's for you or for you right now. So I would say really be smart, and fasting is just the worst thing you can do. Your body has higher needs for different nutrients, omega fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, trace elements, all of those, enzymes. So make sure you get those. Like that would be my biggest advice. I personally crave broccoli sprouts a lot, like and Brussels sprouts, and at some point cauliflower and asparagus. Like I was going crazy for them, and like I needed to eat green. Apparently, I just so I it was middle of winter. I went for it. I
So
ate what I normally ate plus a kilo of greens.
are you eating the greens as microgreens, or are you just eating them head on?
No, like where I was, there was no possibility to find anything like that. I mean, yes, alfalfa and sometimes those mixed spice greens,
The
microgreens from the
sprouts,
store.
the sprouts.
Yeah, the
So,
sprouts, but just the big ones, the big ones. Yeah, I needed a lot.
however, if somebody is trying to become pregnant, having difficulty, I would definitely recommend fasting, but not once you become pregnant. So, have you made any studies about how fasting affects the hormones and how it helps?
Well, I did, but that also would be a really long time ago. I think that would be in 2016. And it's not something that I remember very clearly all the time how that it works. But I do know, I like the main thing that I do remember, and this is really important, is that the effect on a woman's body is different than the effect on a man's body. Like some things are the same and some things are differently. And I think if you fast, yeah, you can do like dry fast, water fast, juice fast. You know what? Let's just assume we're talking water fasting here. It is a good way to clean your body, but it really depends on the person. And I say that because you would recommend, but I would not, in my case, recommend myself to fast before getting pregnant because I don't have excess fat or anything on my body, right? So and I was doing fine. So that's for me not a case for somebody to say, hey, go fasting. Like, no, I'm like, I just see no reason to. That's when I would say whole food, fruits and vegetables, some nuts and seeds. Look at the 80-10-10 variety, if you know what it means, like the
80-10-10
percentages.
diet of, oh yes, of
Yes.
Dr.
So
Doug
yeah,
Graham. And I
yeah,
have
just
a
make
question,
sure you're
and
not too high in fat.
Johnny also wrote here, steamed veggie is best, right? How do you
So
feel about?
if you eat cooked food, yeah, then go for the steamed veggies.
And
um,
so I want to go over actually some of the things that people, the Raw Vegan Bundle, and your contribution again to it. What can people expect from your book?
so for my book, you can look. There are two things you can mainly look at. One is it is an awesome guide, so you can look up something that's going on that you maybe think is hormonal related, and you can just look up what you can do about it. Like there's an index and there's pages on homeopathy, there's pages on vitamins, there's pages on supplements. I go very deep into that so you can really expect to know and feel that you now have the knowledge to choose in a health food store, between all the different powders and capsules and bottles and whatever it is out there.
And this
And
is this is the book that Wendy has written and that you can get in the Raw Vegan Bundle, everyone. The only problem is that this bundle is not available after this coming Sunday. But you've
mm,
got so many recipes, so much advice, so many courses. And like I said, there's also even yoga in there. And I'm going to go through right now some of the things that you will find in there as well, because these are actually chefs and also content creators from all over the world who have been living this lifestyle and was invited to participate in this course. So you have things like Raw Authentic, and this is another mother, a raw vegan mother, who solved a lot of her own issues and her children's problems by going raw vegan and rearing them as raw vegans. And here she is again showing exactly what it is that she presents to her children. Here's another one that she just made. This she made things as simple as possible because as mothers don't have time to be making anything complicated at all. Here is something else that she made with an Asian sauce. These are zucchini noodles with Asian sauce. And this, you can look forward to all these recipes. Now, this is something really unique. We have this incredible chef from Malaysia, and you can go on my YouTube page and you'll see my interview with her and all the stuff she makes. This is Chinese fortune cookies that she made. This is not cooked, no wheat, nothing of the sort, all living foods. So this chef is actually Chef Yin, and I have something else that she's made here. This is her General Sao. Most people, of course, who eat cooked food and especially love Chinese food, love this. So she has a Chinese recipes in here, and it's called Chinese takeout, and it's all alive and plant-based, nothing cooked. And this is her egg fried rice, nothing fried, and there's no egg. The rice is with cauliflower, and for the egg, she has coconut in there. And it is, and I'm going to show you something else in a moment that she also did that people in Malaysia think it's the real things. But first, I want to show you, here's the Chinese takeout here in the middle that she did. There's so many sushi recipes. There's over 100 sushi recipes in there that has nothing to do with fish, and it's all raw vegan. Then we have the most beautiful, gorgeous book from Kiko in Japan. As you can see, she actually has a raw cafe in Kyoto, and you can see here from the look of the book, it's really spectacular. Here are some more sushis that you can look forward to. Here's another sushi recipe that you'll also find in there. Now, remember I told you that Chef Yin has many different recipes. This is from her Chinese takeout again. This one is with cashews. I personally cannot eat cashews, but if you eat cashews, I was told that this is like the real cooked one. It tastes very similar. And here you've got desserts, of course. And then here's another one from Chef Yin. And this is the one that people in Malaysia said really tastes like the real thing. The hot and sour soup. And we also have some other recipes like this is of course, this is the crust for a pizza. This is a pizza, a raw vegan pizza. Look at this array of different kinds of sushi that you can make, and nobody will know that this is all raw vegan. Of course, when they hear sushi, they'll think raw, and for that is true. But she also made, and she has the recipes for this also in there, which looks again like the real McCoy. Very interesting. And then this, I mean, some of these chefs are just so talented artistically. This, to me, is one of the most artistic iterations I've ever seen. And this was actually the recipes in there. And this is for children. Children can actually make these things themselves. So she'll teach you how to do this with your children. And here's some more. And then also there is one book that's a group book that several of us were asked to contribute to. My contribution was this chips. This with taro root, cassava. That's what this is. And this is dehydrated chips with a creamy chipotle lime sauce. So you can get all of this in the bundle and more. Like I said before, it's unfortunately only until this Sunday, but all of this is just for $50 US only. And you can see the actual link for where you can get it right here on the screen. Here are some other, look at these contributors, so many contributors from all over the world, so many more people. There's our Chinese takeout again in the middle, so much stuff. So look, all over the world, all over the globe, we have all these people contributing. So it's actually an international cuisine, it's global cuisine that's all raw vegan. And here we go with Wendy's contribution again. And this is my contribution. It's a course called Leaning into Plant-Based Living Foods Lifestyle. And this takes you from day one all the way up. If you don't want to be totally raw, you just want to experiment with it, this is definitely the course for you. This course actually costs $297. It's included in here. One time only is included in this bundle for $50 for every single thing. So I'm just going to go back to Wendy. And Wendy, I just want to add also, before you do that, I just want to read what Johnny Martinez has said. It says, I cook food. He says, I cook food in the sun when temperature's over 100, glass jars. I live in Arizona. Perfect. Perfection. Instead of using a dehydrator. Yes, Johnny, that's perfect. And he said what you're talking about. He says that this sounds wonderful. And he said, how do you tell women to get cooking when the food is raw? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to come back to you, Wendy, and just finish up. Could you just leave us one last bit of thing? If people are actually having tremendous hormonal problems, they're going through menopause, which, by the way, in Japan, most women until recently did not have menopause at all. So it's very much geared to your diet and your lifestyle. So, and it's usually the women in Japan who travel and are come to the United States and they've lived here for a while who have this, and they go back to Japan and then they start their lifestyle the way they had it before, and boom, it's gone. So tell us about some of the things that people can get from your book you haven't mentioned before, and then we'll finish off.
And wait, she just fell. But you give me the word and she just falls. Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, she's trying to walk now. So the last thing about my book is that if you have these severe issues right now and you want to do something about it, it is to go raw and use a lot of variety. If you're already raw, I would really recommend to start the book from the beginning and really read on all the different nutrients, and also do the exercises. Oh yeah, she's helping me. Thank you. So I would say just like do the exercises, because there are a lot of exercises in there that have nothing to do with food, that can really help you, and dive deep in your hormones, like dive deep in your emotions, and use the Bach flowers, for example. They are in there. I explain what you need. Yeah, that's really,
so
and reach out to me or any naturopath.
So you have the Bach flower remedies in there as well. The Bach flower remedies.
Yes, I didn't like elaborate all of them, because that's what that's not my job, right? Niet aan de kabel zitten. So that's not my job. That is the job of Edward Bach Institute in England to do that. So
but one last thing, Wendy, are you breastfeeding still?
Well, yeah, she's doing it right now.
Oh, that's wonderful. See, everyone, you can breastfeed and still be interviewed at the same time. This is great. Bravo,
well, I had to, otherwise it's screaming. So no, like, yes, I am. And there's really a really in-depth information about breastfeeding as well, and how to stay calm with your baby, not fall into postpartum depressions or anything like that. So thank you, Johnny, for all these questions too. I really appreciate you, and everybody else that I didn't see. Thank you so much as well to look at, and just go grab this bundle. Like go get in anyone's bio. Go grab this bundle, and then you have it for always.
Yes, that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. But what's even more special is that it's not available anywhere else. It is all of the information in here, all of the content has never been released before from any of the contributors. That's one of the prerequisites. And this bundle
is also mine too. It's all new. Like I just started like 8 years ago. Can you imagine? There's information 8 years ago. Like, and it's in there. And I love for people to try it out and start doing all these exercises. It's not a workout exercise. It's not fitness. It's things you can do at home, even if you're bedridden, even if you're in a hospital. If they told you to, how do you say that? Not move. If the doctor tells you, sometimes they do that in pregnancy. They tell you not to move.
And Johnny says, thank you. So thank you so much, Wendy. With that, I will just say thank you so much. And to your daughter, thanks for sharing your mother with us, and everyone. Thanks for coming today. And please remember that the bundle is only available until Sunday. If you know anybody who's pregnant or who has children or is going through menopause or is having any female problems or disorders. And does that include like endometriosis and things like that too? I presume if you're using Bach flower remedies, then yes.
There is, but this is not the in-depth information in there. I was going on these topics and then I was at 100 plus pages and I thought, oh my gosh, like people are never going to read that if it's in the bundle. I maybe I'll just stop right now. And so I kept it focused on, on the topics we just mentioned and not go into, I'm focused on the symptom, not on the names of illnesses somebody dropped there. You understand? So yeah, I didn't want
Wonderful.
to I didn't
So
want to go in those topics because they are just a list of symptoms with a name attached to it.
yes, absolutely. So Johnny says he also has to go now. He has to go to work, and you need to be with your baby. So thank you,
I need
everyone.
to.
Do it.
And thank you so much, all right?
You're welcome. You're so very welcome. And everyone, please know that you can still get this bundle on the Sunday. Share it, please, because unfortunately afterwards, there is no going back. And people get really upset afterwards when the next day or 2 days after when they realize they missed it. So do share it. And I hope to see you all enjoying this bundle and just reaping all the rewards of a living foods diet. Thank you, Wendy, and bye.